Alright, welcome back and thanks for tuning in again. It's been a long time since my last video. Here we are, it's the end of November. Now, I wanted to make this video. It's not going to be a generator or engine or machine related or anything like that. It's about Christmas lights. Now, I always enjoyed hanging Christmas lights when I was a young kid. And one thing we had that I always enjoyed especially was what we called a pole tree. I don't know what you guys call them, but it was pretty much a pole that stuck out of the ground, and you'd have individual strands of lights that would run down from the top, kind of, to make a pyramid shape. And you'd have a star on top or whatever. But I wanted to make one that was 20 feet tall. So I've gathered a bunch of parts together, and we're going to build one and set it up, and we're going to power it with a diesel generator just because. So let's get started. We're picking up kind of in the middle of this project. Here's a drawing of what a pole tree looks like. So we got the pole in the center, and then the edges and the sides are made up of just, free hanging strands of lights with a star on top. So this is going to have 16 strands of lights running down. So the pole's going to be 20 feet long. The light's probably going to end up being 22 and a half or 23 feet long. And then they need to attach to the pole at the top here, and then they just get staked to the ground, at the lower portion. So here's the plate that I've started to build already. It's made out of 1/8" steel. Got 4 holes drilled because this pole here is actually 2 pieces of 1¼ inch black pipe, end to end, so 20-foot length with pipe flanges on either end. So this bolt pattern will sit on top of the upper pipe flange. You can see I've drilled some holes on the outside, and I've relieved these little tabs here so that I can bend them down. Now, what's going to sit in these holes are these little porcelain, like electric fence insulators. And they got a number 10 screw going through them there. So, and they're angled where they're bent down like that. Obviously, just to relieve the strain on the string of lights that go down. So I need to go and heat each one of these tabs and bend them down. The angle is only approximate. It's kind of my best judgment as to what this angle of the lights is going to be when they leave the top of the pole. So the actual strand of lights is going to wrap around this insulator and then be zip tied tight, and that'll provide the strain relief. The lights I'm using are C7 light stringers. They're 25-foot long lengths with 1 foot spacing between the bulbs. So again, that'll wrap around with a zip tie, pinch it, and then at the top, which I still have to weld to the top of this plate, the actual star or the topper is going to be this right here. This is LED rope light. I didn't make this, of course. One sec. The cord's caught up. So that's going to sit on top of the plate here and be the topper for the tree. So what I'm planning to do is weld a piece of 1/2 inch rod to the top of this plate that'll run up the back of this star and kind of hook in this area here. A bit difficult to show. So it's going to be running up the back of the star here and hook in on this wire. It's like a little welded steel frame. And then be zip tied at the bottom, and that'll prevent it from hopefully rotating or getting out of plumb. So let me go ahead and I'll heat the rest of these up. I'm just using a propane torch. Heat them and bend them, and then I'm going to fill these little areas in with weld, and we'll proceed. So let's get to it. And then I'll just grind them down when I'm done. All right, well, here's my final product for the top of the poultry. So we got a piece of 1/2-inch rod here with a little, I don't know, 1/4-inch rod coming off, little wedge there, little T-bar here. That's welded onto the plate. I actually drilled through the plate and welded the back of it as well, ground it down. You see I got 4 nuts welded at the bottom here as well. There's going to be 4 guy wires that will run down and be staked in separately from the lights. Just in case we get any high winds, I don't want to be yanking on the strings of lights themselves. Pretty much I don't want to rely on the lights to keep the thing straight up in the air. So the top, the Christmas star here, there's a little piece right there. Just hooks on there, and it's going to hang on the top. And then I'll just I'll use a zip tie or 2 here on the little T-bar, and then maybe 1 down at the bottom just to keep it well anchored. It's got a little wobble there, but it should be kept pretty square and not want to blow around too much when it's up there. So let me go ahead and get this painted, and I guess we can start assembling the thing. I got to drive the stake into the ground and go from there. All right, well, I've been busy, so here's where we're at. We got that top plate painted up. All the insulators have been put on it. It's been bolted on to that pipe flange. Sorry about the road noise behind me. Got our 16 strings of lights attached. I got 25 bulbs per string. The star is mounted on here. Yeah. Star is mounted on here. Got some zip ties attaching it. Kind of got a big ball of cord here. Hopefully nobody can see that. It's just plugged into the end of one of the strings. So we're about ready to stand it up. It's going to sit on this peg right here, which is a 1 3/8 diameter steel rod. It's about 2 feet long, so 18 inches in the ground. And for the guy wires, we just have galvanized electric fence wire. So we got 4 of them. They're attached to the nuts down here. So let's get it up in the air. Okay.
Can you lift? I don't know why it's like that.
Oh, watch your fingers. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty tight fit.
Yeah, it was on there. It just wouldn't go down.
Yeah, that's funny. It's why I had that piece of steel. That's why I chose 1 1/4 pipe, because it's gonna be such a snug fit. That's pretty far up. All right, that's pretty good, huh? It's probably pretty not straight. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need the guide wires to keep it straight. Thank you.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you too, bye. I will. What are you laughing at? This is fun. Oh, it's pointing the wrong way. Huh, okay. Oh, I can't spin it with one hand. There we go. Let's see how crooked it is. I tried to pound that peg in pretty straight, but my ground's really soft here. Definitely gonna need the guide wires to straighten it. All right, well, let me get set up and we'll drive the stakes in for the guide wires and get the thing straight. Well, we're in the air at this point. So I've got the guy wires done. You can barely see them. It's actually a bit of a hazard. We're looking at one right now, which I didn't really consider. So we got that wire, and we got a little ratcheting mechanism here for like electric fences and a stake in the ground. This is nice because I can tweak the tension on the wiring one by one as the thing settles. So they are 20 feet from the center. The lights, I'm playing with them now. See, I got stakes in the ground similar to what's on top. It's a little stake, you can see it here with a bolt welded to it, and these are little plastic spools for strain relief and just a zip tie. So they are 10 foot from the center. So I've got 4 of them staked down already, and yeah, got quite a few more to do yet. So I'll come back when we're done. So here's the setup. Now, this is gonna make Clark Griswold proud here. So just for testing, I got the generator over there. We got 2 12-gauge extension cords coming to these splitters. We got 1 string of lights plugged in at the splitter, and the other one runs to this extension cord. Now, I found these at Home Depot. I was originally going to make something custom up, but they had these in stock and they were pretty cheap. What it is, it's a 14-gauge cord, plugs in, comes along, and there's a single receptacle, and I've got a splitter that splits out to 2 more strings, and then it continues along to another receptacle, and then it has a final one at the end. So, I mean, it just worked out that the spacing between the receptacles was perfect for this application. So we've got 8 strands on one extension cord, one 12-gauge extension cord, and 8 strands on the other. We're going to see how that works. It should be fine. I don't know exactly what each strand draws. Each one obviously has 25 bulbs. They're 7-watt bulbs at 130 volts. So I'm not sure what they're going to draw at 120. And remember that half of them are blinker bulbs or twinkle bulbs. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. So they're initially all of them will be lit, but once the blinker bulbs heat up, that the current should go down a bit, and then the star, that's really insignificant because that's all LEDs. So let me wait till it gets dark. We'll come out, we'll fire the generator up and see what it looks like. Obviously the generator is not going to be permanent. I have a long length of number 8 SO cord, so I'll run that out from the basement electrical panel out to this point. I think I got a spare space that I can stick a 25 amp breaker on, because I have a feeling this is going to draw about, I don't know, 20 amps continuous. Once the bulbs all heat up, it might be a little bit higher initially, so we'll come back when it gets dark. Alright, well, I think it's dark enough. We got a lantern over there by the generator. The only light out here right now is this street light. Unfortunately, it's right across the road. I can't do anything about that. The house is all dark. Let's go start the generator up. We're using this 1955 Onan. It's a 3,000 watt unit. It's been probably a month since it's been started. Come over here, turn the fuel on. Open the vent. Battery cables are tight. We'll give the fuel pump a couple strokes. Governor linkage is free. All right. Just disconnect the load here. All right. Let's give it a little bit of glow plug. Let me make sure my microphone's still plugged in. Hang on one sec. All right, we're good. Give it some glow. All right, let's roll it over. There we go. Got a little bit of light here. Power. Charge that battery up a little bit. Give her a minute or two to warm up before we dump that load on it. Yep, we got return fuel flow. Exhaust cleared up pretty quick. That's not that cold out. It got up to, geez, probably pretty near 50 degrees today. All right, let me give it a couple minutes and we'll throw the load on it. Light the tree up. All right, well, she should be warmed up enough. I have an amp meter down at the generator. I'll call out the amperage when we first fire it up. Let's do it. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, and a little bit high. Not that bad though. Somehow we're only drawing 10 amps. Wow. Oh man, I thought that was going to be a lot more load. Up. Give it a little load. Wait a minute. I got an extra lead in here. Let's try that again. Oh, that's better. Yeah, we're drawing 20 amps now. I accidentally grabbed one lead twice in the opposite direction, so we canceled out half our amperage. Oh, they're starting to twinkle now. $20 amps, okay. 19 amps. Yeah, it's gonna start dropping as the bulbs warm up and they start to twinkle. Look at that. I see one that's out. that? Is that a twinkle? Yeah, that's a twinkle. Burned out. That looks pretty cool, huh? Let's go look at it from across the road. Try not to get run down by these crazy people. There's one now. Ah, that looks nice, doesn't it? So the star, I went with a blue and a cool white. I think it looks okay. I'm not crazy about LEDs, but really, you're hard pressed to find anything but nowadays. Unless you're special order stuff. I have earplugs in, so I really can't gauge the noise of the generator. You'll have to let me know. It's behind that big rhododendron bush there. That looks pretty nice. You guys like the twinkling aspect? I always like that. Especially the incandescents. They just kind of randomly flicker on and off. Still got traffic on this road. Alright, let's go back and see what the current's down to. You can't really see the guide wires too bad. They kind of reflect there. They reflect the light a bit. Let's see if we can spot any more that are out up there. See one right there that ain't doing nothing. Bet you it's a blinker too. Really, I haven't been satisfied with these bulbs or the quality of these bulbs from the vendor. When I was lamping these strings, installing all the bulbs, I think I came up with about a 5 or a 6% failure rate straight out of the box, and it was mostly the twinkle bulbs, like the blinkers. I mean, you know, it's made in China, so, and they're relatively inexpensive, so quality control, I guess, is, you know, whatever it is going to be. I like that star though. I'm happy with that. I did buy spares. Again, it was, I don't know, $7.25 bulbs. So. Yeah, looking at one. Got a lazy one right here, not doing anything. I should be able to reach that on a 10-foot ladder. Alright, let's go check the amperage. Stay up to 20, but 16 amps, hey, that's fine. I'm happy with that, and that's balanced figure, so we got about 8 amps on each cord. No problem. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, I was shaking them around quite a bit on the install, so not too bad. Look at that. I almost walked into one of my guide wires here. Had little flags on them or something. Lights the house up. Take my earplugs out. Ah, it's not that bad. It's a nice rumble. Let me walk across the street again. I can make it. Bearing down on me. The generator's no more noisy than the road. I can barely hear it. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit off topic, but it's seasonally appropriate. Thanks a lot for watching.